Hey, Happy New Year, what's up? And today I'm gonna do my favorite movies of 2018 list. Originally I wanted to do a top 10, but I boosted it up to a top 15. Let's go. So here are some of the honorable mentions before getting into the list. Game Night, it's surprisingly funny, but kind of dumb, but in a funny way movie. That's how I would put it. Also, shout out to Lynn Ramsey with "You Were Never Really Here." Yeah, the premise and the visuals and the overall tone of the movie is very dark. It's very unsettling, and I love it. But I guess my gripe with the movie is that it feels kind of hollow. It feels a little too messy. And also shout out to Black Panther. It's a good movie. It's a good MCU movie. A little overrated is all. A lot of people say that this is awesome. A lot of people say that this movie deserves Best Picture, and I have a different opinion. Also shout out to Ready Player One, a very fun movie involving a lot of video games. I forgot to mention two movies as well. First of all, it's Ralph Breaks the Internet, which is basically the sequel to Wreck-It Ralph. Yeah, it's another huge, ambitious animation about video games, and it's very fun, very thrilling, and there's also a moral behind, and I think that's very, very meaningful. Also, I want to shout out to Luca Guadagnino, who is an Italian director, and he made a remake of the classic horror movie Suspiria, and it's absolutely beautiful, absolutely stunning, and the performances are great, and the score is composed by the one and only Tom York, and I love it. Yeah, and even though there are a lot of fans who didn't like Suspiria, I still find it pretty stunning, because it's not like an original movie or anything. It's according to the director himself, it's a cover movie. And we also have Isle of Dogs by Wes Anderson, one of my favorite directors right now. It's a really, really fun and unique and artistic animation where we get these dogs and Japanese people, and it's a really interesting experience. And of course, Bryan Singer's biopic for Queen, and especially for Freddie Mercury with Bohemian Rhapsody. It has a lot of heart, and it's a good biopic. And also Creed 2, which is a really solid and coherent sequel to Creed, which is a pretty good movie, in my opinion. But here's the top 15 list. At 15, we have Green Book, which is a movie about friendship between two people from two different worlds. We have Viggo Mortensen and Mahershala Ali giving off amazing performances, and Viggo Mortensen sort of plays the tough guy, while Mahershala Ali is a musician, a pianist. He's very classy and cultured, and both of them grow a lot. Both of them gain a lot of perspective, and we can really see them growing, their relationship growing. And it's a really humane movie as well. And at 14, it's The Incredibles 2, which is one of the most fun and thrilling animated movies of the year. I guess my gripe with the movie is that it plays safe, and it's not as deep as the first movie, Incredibles, which is amazing. But still, it looks fantastic, it's fun, and the premise is actually quite interesting as well, being that the woman, the wife, is now the main character, and the husband had to take care of the baby now. How the tables have turned, it's pretty interesting. And at number 12, it's a really special movie, Searching, and it details a man trying to find his daughter, but it's all told in screen capture, in a computer, in a laptop. And yeah, it's a really, really interesting movie. It is told in Skype, it is told in, news pages, in the internet, it is told in social media, and all sorts of other sights, and it's truly a special movie. At number 12, I'm giving it to A Star Is Born. It's this movie, I guess, originally it felt like a great movie, but it's still good, but not necessarily all that great. I feel like it's a little overrated, but it's still a very solid movie that's really heartfelt, really touching. It's about a growth of a star, literally self-explanatory title here. Yeah, the performances are magnificent. First of all, the story isn't all that eventful, but the second half of the movie is really heart-wrenching and gripping, and it's a really emotional movie, a very beautiful love story as well as a very impactful tragedy story as well. At number 13, didn't expect myself to like this movie that much, but it's Upgrade, which is another really thrilling and fun action movie. And I love the acting from the main male protagonist, the way his body acts one way and his face acts another way, because essentially in the story he is not really fighting in his own supposed way. He's sort of upgraded, and it's so thrilling. The action sequences are really, really entertaining, really tense as well. Number 10, this movie grew a lot on me. First Reformed. I've been struggling to put either First Reformed or Upgrade as the 10th spot, but I think I finally made my decision. It's First Reformed. Yeah, even though it's a slow burn, but it's a very impactful and memorable slow burn. The visuals are very cold-blooded and unsettling and disturbing. The performances by Ethan Hawke and Amanda Seyfried is very nerve-wracking, and overall a very, very dark and disturbing movie. And again, it's a slow burn, but it takes a while for it to grow on you, is all I'm trying to say. And at number 9, I have to give it to the documentary movie Won't You Be My Neighbor, which is about Mr. Rogers, one of the most popular TV show hosts for kids. And it's a really, really touching and inspiring movie about love for humans, love for children. And when you look back at the modern times, you really feel kind of sad because of how the society had turned out. Now, I'm not being a downer or anything, but yeah, I'm just trying to say that Mr. Rogers is truly a spectacular human being who actually has the courage to talk about more adult themes and subjects towards children, and telling them in a very positive way. And he is truly a legend, truly a hero. And at number 8, I have to give it to A Quiet Place, which is one of my favorite thriller movies of the year. It's a really, really wholesome and solid horror movie. I mean, it's scary from the first act till the last act. And the ending of the thing is really shocking as well, jaw-dropping and surprising. And what else can I say? It's very impactful, very, very suspenseful, very intense. And I just want to see John Krasinski grow as a director, because what he did here is very successful, and I love it. And at number 6, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, another really entertaining and thrilling and fun animated movie. Probably, yeah, actually my favorite animated movie of the entire year. It's a really refreshing premise for a movie. I mean, Stan Lee creating Spider-Man is one of the best things to happen in the history of superhero movies. And rest in peace, Stan Lee. He is truly a hero in our hearts, even though he's not a superhero in the movie, but he is the ultimate hero who created all this. And this movie there are a lot of different Spider-Mans, different Spider-Girls, different Spider things, Spider people, and they all go together really well. We also get Peter Parker in here, uh, who who is whose style is taken in a very refreshing way. The main character, Miles Morales, is also very very rootable, very supportable and likable. And we also get Spider-Man Noir, played by Nicolas Cage, and it's a really really funny movie, and there is also a lot of heart in this movie. At number 6, I have to also give it to another horror movie that I've watched very recently, and that is Hereditary. Another horror movie that's taken very seriously, and it's one of the most successful horror movies of the year. Um, yeah, it's I guess I wouldn't say that this movie is very scary, but it is certainly the most disturbing movie I've watched in the year. It's very disturbing, very chilling, and the first half is very unpredictable. Of course, someone dies, and things get more tense and dark, and then I don't want to spoil the movie for you, but essentially what happened in the first act is the cause for the second act, which is extremely intense. The performance by Toni Collette and all the other co-actors are truly, truly nervous and anxious as hell. And Toni Collette's acting here is also a little crazy, a little eccentric, which is the perfect formula for a perfect performance in a horror movie for the protagonist, because oh my gosh, it hits really hard. And at number 5, the nitty gritty action film of the year, Mission Impossible Fallout. Wow. The first and second act of the movie are some really meat and potatoes, fundamental Mission Impossible stuff with the car chase, motorcycle chase, foot chase, and fight scenes. But they are all done really well, and they kept on pushing further and further and further, and it keeps the audience on the edge of their seats with their knuckles gripped tight because it's just so intense. But it's the last act that really got me in a really really bad situation, because it's just so intense, so suspenseful. The action sequences are extremely entertaining, extremely intense. The helicopter chase is spectacular, chaotic, and the last fight of the thing, they just keep on pushing one step further and another step further, and before it ends, let's push one step further. At number 4, Roma by Alfonso Cuarón. And it's a really, really touching and inspiring and absolutely beautiful telling of a story of a family in the 1970s Mexico. And yeah, the performance is great. The story is really heartfelt, realistic, and the visuals of the thing is truly, truly stunning. I mean, we have Alfonso Cuarón here, one of the best directors nowadays, extremely underrated, criminally underrated. He's also the same guy who directed movies like The Prisoner of Azkaban and Gravity, which is an awesome movie. And yeah, what else can I say? At number 3, BlackKklansman, a really, really funny but also conscious and refreshing take on racism, not only to the 70s but also to nowadays. And it's a really suspenseful movie as well, because going undercover in the KKK is not an easy thing to do. And yeah, there are also a lot of surprisingly funny moments in the movie as well, which I really, really love. And the way the movie ends off is really impactful. It almost got me in tears. And I love this movie a lot. And surprisingly, I'm gonna put If Beale Street Could Talk at number 2. Barry Jenkins had done it again. Even though I still think Moonlight is a better movie, this movie is still a very, very heartfelt and beautiful take on a story that's really, I guess, tragic. Not only is the premise of the movie very interesting as well, but the way it's executed, the way it's performed, and the way it's directed, it's all very beautiful and very touching. It's very humane, realistic, and I don't know. It's a very impactful movie as well. But I just don't understand why. But my number one spot favorite movie of the year, I kept thinking and thinking and thinking, and I have come to a conclusion that Avengers Infinity War is the best movie of 2018. Maybe Avengers Endgame will be my favorite in 2019, who knows, but this movie, it's really good. I don't know how, but the Russo brothers managed to put all these superheroes together, and yet this movie doesn't feel messy or chaotic in a bad way at all. It feels very coherent. Every scene is entertaining. Even though the movie is very dark and tragic, and the ending of the movie just leaves you hanging in the most terrifying way possible. There are actually a lot of funny moments here and there that are iconic. Jokes being cracked that are really smart and not cringy at all, and the humor doesn't compromise the drama as well. When the drama comes, it's really hard-hitting. There are a lot of death scenes in the movie as well, which really got me, man. Really got me. And the ending, again, it just leaves you hanging there. One of the best cliffhangers I've seen in the year. Just a really, really well-produced, well-executed Marvel movie that really deserves all its praise. And I know it's a little normie, it's a little cliche to put Avengers Infinity War so up top, even higher than Roma, but I'm sorry. Okay? I'm sorry. This movie, it's way more entertaining, but at the same time way more dark than I have expected. And I'm just gonna leave it at that. What's your favorite movie of the year? And comment below. Please subscribe. Thanks for watching. And I have to go now. And I have to do revision for my exam. Fuck.